Da-da! The Professor and Ditto Show. And now your host, Professor. That's me, by the way. Spoiler alert, I'm the announcer. I know, wow, so many crazy reveals this past week. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Professor and Ditto Show. I am your host, Professor, as I said. This is my associate, Ditto, right here. And we are both very, very grateful to be here with you guys today. I don't know if you guys can tell or not. Yes, you have our full permission to do that, Master Kitty. 1212. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but we are very excited for today's show because holy crap, I'm not sure what came over me. Maybe it was the fact that I was up till like 12:30 or something last night, but I actually wrote a script for today's show. And the reason that's a big deal is because normally I'm just kind of pulling this stuff out of thin air. But I'm grateful to have some kind of guidelines to go by. That way I have a little bit of clarity going in between segments. Because as many of you longtime viewers of the show know, the Professor and Ditto Show is a legitimate show with legitimate sponsors, all featured here. Anyone who's donated any amount of money across any platform, we welcome your donations. It's never a requirement, of course, but if you do donate, regardless of the amount, it will be your username will be added up here for all to see. This includes patrons who we love very, very much. Thank you all so for all your help. And right down to the person who donates the cheapest little gift thing on TikTok. We thank you all for all your love and support. And holy crap, guys, I cannot tell you how awesome it is to have more than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and to be inching ever closer to the 200,000 follower mark over on TikTok. And on Instagram, this almost never gets brought up for some reason. We have cleared successfully 1,200 followers over on that platform. So thank you guys so much. Samuel, it's a great to have you. Oh my gosh, Friendsor. Oh, speaking of donations, wow. Fredo Overlord, this drink to you. Hashtag not sponsored by an official brand, but we are officially sponsored by all of you, people like that. Thank you, Fried or Lord. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your username. I probably am. But thank you so very much for all your love and support. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to today's show. As I was saying, the show is divided up into 3 different segments. The first segment is going to be stupid Pokedex entries for a change because, believe it or not, we don't have any mail that is from our P.O. Box this week. Our P.O. Box is, of course, P.O. Box 580-368, Houston, Texas, 77058. You guys are more than welcome to screenshot this and send us a letter whenever you guys would like. Just bear in mind, please include an empty envelope with stamps on it inside, so that way we can take said empty envelope with stamps on it. It's really important that it has stamps on it, and we can fill it up with as much Pokemon merch as we have available to us and mail it back to you. So that yes, thank you more time. Thank you so. I didn't mean to like rim it over here, but thank you so very much. I'm holding a script. Thank you so very much for your donations. Thank you guys for tuning in across multiple platforms. We apologize the webcam is way better quality than usual. I'll tell you what, it's probably not the webcam. I think it's the lighting. You would not believe how many lights we have on us right now. If I start to sweat midway through the show, it's because of all the lights. We don't have like the really nice professional ones that don't cast a lot of heat or anything like that. You know, the big white ones that are square and have like the thing over them. We don't have those. We have like literal headlamps and stuff from Ross and Tuesday mornings, I think. Heaven rest Tuesday mornings going out of business. At least in my family's area they are. But thank you guys so very much again for tuning in. The first segment of the show is going to be stupid Pokedex entries, followed by a trip down memory lane, a brand new segment we are doing on the Professor and Ditto Show, which I'm very happy to take a trip down with all of you because holy crap, we've had some very interesting experiences the past couple of years here on social media. We are planning on talking about controversies we've been a part of, arguments that were never resolved, and of course, our most popular uploads, which is what the first which is what segment 2 will be about today. One of our most popular uploads, which many of you are familiar with over on TikTok, our Jaws video. We are going to be going into some in-depth detail and controversies, so believe it or not, surrounding that video. What's up, Xander? Welcome to live stream. I hope I said Xander. I'm sorry if I messed up your name. Thank you so much for joining us for today's show. The third and final segment is, of course, everybody's favorite segment, which I have no notes for whatsoever. It is the question and answer session, where you can ask Ditto and I any question you guys want, and every answer we provide is guaranteed 100% correct, so long as you don't fact check it. So, and yes, you can quote me on that. Thank you guys again so very much. Oh, sorry to see you go, My Time. Thank you for your donations. We will add your username from TikTok on here as soon as the show is over. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I say we get right into the first segment here. Ladies and gentlemen, because remember, we are on a time limit, I'm not willing to risk going over the hour mark just yet. We'll play with it maybe in a special live stream in the future. But for now, we're still going to try and keep the show down to about 1 hour. So that being said, let's jump right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first segment of the Professor and Ditto show, Stupid Pokedex Entries. Insert amazing transition here. We do have a title card thing. You guys have seen it before. For everyone over on YouTube. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, that goes this way, so that we can sit like this. By the way, everyone, we are streaming on TikTok and YouTube as per normal, because Ditto and I like to have a recording of every single live stream we do. Purely for legal reasons, and honestly, it's kind of fun to go back and rewatch our old live streams, especially from when we got when we got a better camera and a better microphone. It's nice to compare them. But anyway, like I said, this is episode 12, ladies and gentlemen, episode 12 of the Professor and Ditto show. Since we started uploading them here on YouTube, at least. We've done previous shows before the ones here on YouTube, but out of the ones that we have recorded and re-uploaded to another platform, YouTube being that platform, this is episode 12. Holy crap, guys. I cannot even imagine. Oh man, I'm so happy that you guys continue to support our content, to like it, to share it, to subscribe to this channel. It means the Waldo to us. And yes, that is a JoJo reference. But getting right into segment 1 here, we ask that you guys hold back your questions for now, just until we get to the final segment of the show. It'll be here before you even know it. If we see something that's kind of pressing, though, we'll stop and we'll address it. But remember, the last segment is for those questions. We will get to every single one we can in the allotted time that we have. And until then, we're going to talk about stupid Pokedex entries, because holy crap, there are a lot of them. As longtime viewers know, there are Ditto and I have quite the issue with just Pokedex entries in general. Most of them are far too brief. They don't explain how to raise said Pokemon, and it's just like a little bit of trivial information that, well, it doesn't really help. It doesn't really help you if you're a kid. Well, I assume that some of you are children, but put yourself in the shoes of the main protagonist of, I don't know, Emerald. Maybe you're a 10 or 11-year-old kid. You're going out on your own Pokemon journey. You're going out to catch these dangerous monsters and raise them to become the Pokemon champion. And you come across this blob. It's like a blob. It kind of looks like a leaf, kind of doesn't. All your Pokedex says about it is that it's that it blooms in sunny weather, and that's it. That's all it does. Oh, good. Thank you, Just a Baby Unicorn. Your package just went out today, so thank you for sending that. Hopefully that will arrive within the next 2 to 3 days. So there you go. Hopefully that gets back to you guys. But hello, Amber. So yeah, if that's all the information you have, there's this tiny little puddle that kind of looks like a leaf, like a gray, greenish puddle, and you're not sure what it evolves into. You're not sure how to raise it. You're not even sure if it's going to be friendly towards you. If it's like, I don't know, something that's just naturally friendly towards people. You don't know that. You don't know anything about it. All you can do is throw out your pet that you got from the professor dude, because for some reason, even though there are different Pokemon just outside of his lab, he was only able to offer you these 3 obscure, extremely rare Pokemon. So I still don't understand that logic. All you can do is throw out your pet, have it beat up the other thing until you beat it into submission, so you can throw one of these bad boys at it. That is not a solid system, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Ditto hates it as well. This is one of the many things, well, one of the few things I should say, that we agree on. 100%. I think part of the reason that Ditto and I have stayed together so long is we never get tired of talking to each other. We always have very interesting conversations, don't we? Yes. Oh, the words that flow from your mouth, Ditto, are like a golden fleece being sewn into a beautiful blanket. I'm straight, by the way. Anyway, here we go. Not that that has anything to do with it, but that sounded... Anyway, all right. Not that it's a bad thing. That's just weird. Hey, take that out of context for me. Would someone please do that? That would be really funny if someone was like screen recording this or something. Take that out of context and then like send me the video. I want to see like how you turn that into a meme. That is absolutely hilarious. Anyway, hey Luna Wolf, hey. Easy there. Easy, my friend. Anyway, going to stupid Pokedex entries, we have a couple picked out that we wanted to go over today. The first one is a Pokemon that all of you are familiar with, if you're familiar with the Pokemon franchise. You can find it up in this image up here. I assume you guys can see a little bit of it on YouTube. This image has every single Pokemon ever created in it, except for the ones in Sword and Shield. This came out just before Sword and Shield. So if you can find a Ponyta up there, let me know. But yeah, the first Pokemon we wanted to look at was Ponyta. Ponyta has been around since Generation 1, obviously. Extinct! Thank you. Thank you for donating to the show and keeping us on the air. It's because of legends like you that we haven't been banned. Because heaven knows that at times it feels like the TikTok and YouTube are just itching to get us off the air. So thank you for pushing back the tide, for keeping us on the air. We appreciate you. But yeah, Ponyta. So I'm going to read for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read out some of their Pokedex entries as opposed to just grabbing one of their cards and reading it off the bottom of that. We're going to go over their official Pokedex entries from Bulbapedia because I love Bulbapedia. Got way too many ads on that website, but holy crap, they've got all the Pokedex entries, and I kind of need that sup. Yeah, in Yellow, Pokemon Yellow, so this is Generation 2, I think. What is Pokemon Yellow? Is it Gen 2? Yeah, it's got to be Gen 2. Yeah, no, it's Gold and Silver. Yellow was like a weird, like 1.5. I don't know. I love Yellow. I love the idea of following. Oh, you like the tie? Thank you. It's a Bugs Bunny tie. For anyone who can't tell on YouTube, it is a Bugs Bunny tie. I'm very proud of it. And tie trading is totally a thing. It's Gen 1. Yeah, I figured it was Gen 1, but it's got like the weird, I don't know. It's a cool game. I love that they incorporated the, very professional. Thank you. I try my best to be professional, especially here in my own home during my own show. I try very much. You know, sometimes the sweats and the t-shirts don't always work. So trying to be a little bit more classy this time around. But, and anyway, getting back to Ponyta, its Yellow Pokedex entry says, capable of jumping incredibly high, period. Its hooves and sturdy legs absorb the impact of hard landing. Like legs do? Isn't that what legs are supposed to do? They're supposed to like act as, those things that keep you upright off the ground. It's like, oh, welcome, Yellow Wolf. Thank you so very much for your donations. Didn't recognize you. I think you told us you changed your username in the past. Anyway, Ponyta. So that's its Yellow entry. Capable of jumping incredibly high. No crap. Leaf Green entry. Its hooves are 10 times harder than Diamond. You want... Its hooves are 10 times harder than Diamond. It can trample anything completely flat in little time. Is that not the most general yet specific entry in all the... what the heck is... I don't even get... Okay, it gets better. Soul Silver. Pokemon Soul Silver is my favorite Pokemon game to have come out to date. I love it. I love what they did with it. I've played it many, many times over. It was the first Pokemon game I purchased after becoming a legal adult. I went through a dry period in my youth, which I'll talk about later in a YouTube upload, which I'm currently working on with the lovely Michelle YTV, who you should all check out her channel. She does fantastic artwork. And she is also on TikTok as well, but and Instagram. But Soul Silver, my favorite Pokemon game, even that game is not spared from its terrible, terrible description of Ponyta. Quote, its hind legs, comma, which have hooves that are harder than Diamond, comma, again with the Diamond thing, kick back at any presence it senses behind it. What? What? Is Ponyta telepathic? How? This is regular Gen 1 Ponyta. Technically just a revamp of Gen 2. This is Silver, Pokemon Silver. How extinct? Thank you again. Thank you for continuing to donate. I promise I recognize what you're doing, and I'm just trying to continue with the show. So thank you so much for sticking around and continuing to donate. Holy crap. I want to read that again, just that last part. It kicks back at any presence it senses behind it. How does Ponyta sense something behind it? I get it. You know, have you guys ever done that thing where somebody has like a pencil or their finger and they hold it up in front of your forehead and you get like that weird, you know, that you feel like you have to squirm back. They're not touching you, but you can still feel where their finger is against you. You guys ever experienced that before? It's a really fun experiment. It's a great way to tick off your siblings as well. But I didn't tell you that. Anyway, I wouldn't recommend trying on your parents though. But seriously, you can have your parents try it on you. I don't care. You know, that's your family life is your family life. But seriously, I don't think it's like that because it's the opposite end. And not to say that Ponyta's butt isn't sensitive like its face is. That's another thing you guys should definitely take out of context. Dude, I am on a roll today. Somebody needs to go through all of the shows and just splice together. We might do this. I don't know if we get really bored or something and have a lot of time. It's just never going to happen. But I don't know. Somebody needs to go through all the previous shows and just like splice together a bunch of misquotes taken out of context and upload it. And just let us know when you've done that because that would be so freaking hilarious. There's no shortage of content for you to use to do that. Believe me. Luna Wolf, I'm going to hold you to that. You best do that. Seriously, let us know when you have. But anyway, Ponyta can somehow, apparently it has telepathy. This is just regular old fire Ponyta. You know, it somehow can sense things behind it. I don't know how. I don't know when. It's like, I don't get it. Have you made a payment on your doorknobs? No, but that's a conversation for later. So, yeah, that's Generation 1 Ponytas and Generation 3 Ponytas. Actually, all the way through to Leaf Green and Fire Red and up until Emerald. Once you get to Emerald, you start to get a little bit of a sense of why Ponyta is the way it is. Of course, you still have no idea how to raise a Ponyta. Heaven forbid you're some little kid, you really like horses and you like fire types and you catch this thing and you're like, yay, I'm going to raise this adorable pony and it's going to be a big, strong fire unicorn horse someday and I'm so excited. How the heck do I raise a horse? I've never lived on a farm. I've lived in a suburb my entire life. Or I've lived in the ghetto. I don't know. It kind of depends on which game it is. I've lived in Hawaii my whole life. We don't have a lot of horses in Hawaii. I don't know where I have no idea if that's true, by the way. I've never lived in Hawaii. But Alola, I know for a fact, Alola doesn't have a lot of horses, or at least Pokemon that look like horses. I've lived in Alola my entire life. I've never seen a Pokemon like this. What the heck do I do with it? Well, here's the news. This will give you just a little idea of what other Pokemon scientists think matters to the kid in that scenario. The kid that has no idea how to raise this fire horse. This is what they think. These are some of the nicer entries that I thought at least did when I looked at these and we're like, okay, that's kind of sweet. From Pokemon Emerald, a Ponyta is very weak at birth. Is there anything that isn't? Mudsdale. Yeah, Mudsdale is, well, that's more of a burrow / donkey, I would think. Even still, like that's one of the only examples I can think of off the top of my head that qualifies as a horse, not including Ultra Beast. Although I don't know of any horse Ultra Beasts now that I think about it. Anyway, back to Ponyta. Pokemon Emerald. A Ponyta is very weak at birth. Yeah, no duh. It can barely stand up like a real horse. Its legs become stronger as it stumbles and falls while trying to keep up with its parent. That's sweet. That's kind of how real horses act, at least from what I've seen in your guys' world. I, of course, don't live in the real world, so I don't know exactly how that works. But I've seen videos of baby horses, you know, and deer, as a matter of fact. More deer than horses. But they struggle to keep up. It doesn't say, by the way, if its parents are also Ponyta or if they're Rapidash. That's something that the Pokedex and the anime seem to mess up a lot. Like, are other evolutions, like, older family members that, like, when they have eggs, do they also have Venusaurs? Or in this case, when a Rapidash couple lays an egg, when the horses lay an egg, does it turn into a Ponyta or does it turn into another fire unicorn horse? These are questions for another day. But anyway, in Pokemon Sword, it's Smallhorn. Okay, so this one, this entry, we've now switched to the psychic / was going to be fairy type until they killed fairy types Ponyta. You know, like the really pretty one, the one that everyone had a complete meltdown about when the images were first revealed. I was one of those people because I was terrified that they had taken Ponyta, innocent little Ponyta, and turned it into a fairy type. And then we all got the news that fairy types are dead. I'm very grateful for that, by the way. Thank you, Pokemon. But anyway, Pokemon Sword. Pokemon Sword. Its small horns have the field and power. With its few herbs, this Pokemon's horn, any stat wound will heal and scale. All right, I'm going to try reading that like normal now. Okay, Pokemon Sword. Its small horn hides a healing power. With a few... with a few... you remember? With a few rubs from this Pokemon's horn, any slight wound you have will be healed. Oh man, I lost my fingers. Let me just walk over to my innocent little magic horse and rub it. Come here, Ponyta. Rub here. I'm missing my fingers. Oh, they're back. Thank you. And Ponyta's just got like little trickles of blood coming down its sweet little horn. It's just like, you're welcome. What the heck? A shield is even better. This Pokemon will look into your eyes and read the contents of your heart. First time I read that, I thought it said comments. The comments of your heart. I was like, oh no, is it like YouTube comments? Because man, I can be brutal in those at times. Anyway, this Pokemon will look into your eyes and read the contents of your heart. If it finds evil there, it promptly hides away. End quote. That's from S.H.I.E.L.D. So not only is Fire Ponyta telepathic, Psychic Ponyta, Psychic / Fairy Ponyta, apparently has its own definition of evil. This is a serious problem, by the way. People do it with Pokemon like Murkrow and Absol. They assume that, oh, this Pokemon's here, it's an omen of bad things to come, which is idiotic and primal in every sense of the word. But with poor Ponyta, they take it as this Pokemon. Whoever wrote this entry seems to think that Ponyta knows the contents of your heart. Even telepath, like I have spoken one-on-one with Pokemon like Gardevoir, Dusknoir, Alakazam. That was a weird conversation. That's a story for another day. Alakazam likes talking about butts. I don't know why. He just thinks it's really... You think with the IQ that grows every 5 seconds, it would want to talk about something else. But anyway, most psychic-type Pokemon, even though they can read your mind, there are limits. They can only read what you are broadcasting. Remember how thoughts turn into action? The same goes for anything telepathic. It can only read what you're putting at the forefront of your mind. It can't like open up a bunch of metaphysical drawers and start going through the contents and look through all your deepest, darkest. That's science fiction, all right? That doesn't work. That's not how it works. There are specific Pokemon who have abilities that can trigger that, but even then, like Ponyta is not one of those Pokemon. Ponyta is not on the same scale as Gardevoir and Alakazam and the other ones like that, all right? Ponyta cannot read the contents of your heart. What happened here, what I think caused the Pokemon Shield entry, the one about how it looks in your eyes and it reads the contents of your heart and it runs away if it sees any evil there whatsoever. First and foremost, nobody's perfect. Second, what the heck counts as evil? Is it what the baby unicorn considers to be evil? Because last I checked, kids are not the smartest people on the planet. Here's an example for you. Hey, honey, don't touch this paint. It's wet. The kid immediately touches it to see if it's actually wet. Hey, honey, don't touch that hot. I know the burner's off, but don't touch the top of the stove. All right, it's still hot. Kid touches it anyway just to find out. All right, this is very general, of course, but like, that's just how it works. All right, that's just how that's how kids' brains work. Now think of a kid horse, a kid magical pony thing that lives in a luminescent forest surrounded by fairy types that kind of look like goblins. All right, that's what this thing comes from. What the heck does it consider evil? And how does that definition change between, because remember, not every Pokemon is the same. Not every Pokemon is the same. Griffin, but BT, thank you. Thank you for donating to the show. We appreciate you keeping this show on the air. We need people like you. So thank you so very much for becoming an official sponsor of the Professor and Ditto Show. And yes, I love Power Rangers. Oh, when I get talking about Power Rangers, man, don't even get me started. We will talk about that another day. But yeah, so the Pokemon will look into your eyes and read the contents of your heart. Ponyta does not know. Whatever Ponyta's definition of evil is, it's not. Here's what I think happened. Again, this all falls on the shoulders of the professor who wrote these entries. They're all from different professors, but well, Sword and Shield are from the same professor. But you guys get the idea. Excuse me. Wow, not sure where that came from. You guys get the idea. All right. What I think happened was Professor Sonia's grandmother, because it wasn't Professor Sonia that wrote these entries, if I remember correctly. Professor Sonia's grandmother, her 900 and whatever year old grandmother, decided she was going to, write a Pokedex entry in the style of previous Pokedexes, only like a couple sentences long, based on this Ponyta right in front of her. She got one. She was there. She was studying it. She was looking at it. And she walked over and she looked at it. And it immediately, it did that thing where it just kind of looks at like, you see, there's that video of Chinese pandas? Is it the Chinese panda? No. It's not the great panda. It's the fox looking panda, whichever panda that is, like the ringtail panda or something like that. It's like a cross between a red raccoon and a panda. Anyway, there's like a video of those guys and they're in their pen and someone comes out to give a bowl of food to them or whatever. And one of them turns around and goes, "Wah!" and falls over. It's like that. I'm imagining that's what happened, but a little bit for this Ponyta when Professor, what's her name? Magnolia? I think it's Professor Magnolia. I don't know. This Ponyta was and then got so uncomfortable that it turned around and ran the other way, outside the door or something like. Red panda. Thank you, though. It's a red panda. Thank you. And you, Luna Wolf. Thank you very much. By the way, the reason I wrote a script is because my thoughts go all over the place. And while that is charming to a degree, thank you again, Griffin. Thank you so very much for your donations. But while I like bouncing around from point to point, I like to have a little bit of stability here and there, especially when we're on, a time limit. The timer is right here for me, by the way. It's not going to show up later during the recording. I think it'll be down here for you guys. But for me, it's up here right now. And we're already at 27 minutes, and I'm going to try and stay on track a little bit more. But you guys get the idea, all right? This Pokedex entries are based on a Pokemon professor's personal first-hand experience with said Pokemon. And if you have a 900-year-old girl or guy, or even a 40 or 30-year-old person who doesn't get out very often, who spends most of their time in their lab studying Pokemon, maybe they travel around a little bit just to see other places and see Pokemon in their habitat, but they're not trainers. Most Pokemon professors, with the exception of, I think, Professor Kukui and Professor Oak, of all trainers, they weren't Pokemon trainers before they were Pokemon professors. They started their careers. This is why I give Hop, a little bit of credit. For as much as I like to make fun of Hop, he gets a little bit of credit because he started as a trainer, a failed trainer, mind you. Well, kind of failed. Depends on your definition of failed. But he worked his way over to being a Pokemon professor, but started as someone on the front lines. It's kind of like the difference between somebody starting in a position of power in the military as opposed to someone working their way up to it. There's more experience there. So the people who start in a position of power or are just the gates are just opened and they do a little bit of work here and there, but they just kind of obtain the position and they hold it and they stay there and they just stay stagnant for as long as possible. Their research might continue, but they don't really gain extra experience on said Pokemon. I don't know if this is making any sense at all. I get the feeling it's probably not. But anyway, Pokedex entries are written by people who don't have firsthand, they have firsthand experience with Pokemon, but not from the perspective of you and me. Because first and foremost, I'm a trainer just the same as you guys. I am a professor second. I'm only a professor long enough to make videos, wear a trench coat, and write our own Paradex, which you can find on our Patreon. But anyway, I just wanted to share those Pokedex entries with you guys on Ponyta. Ponyta is a Pokemon that deserves a lot better than what the poor thing has gotten so far. Now, there's one other Pokemon I wanted to go over. Oh, we might have not enough time. How about this? Next time we do stupid Pokedex entries, we'll go over the one Pokemon that shares my name. That's right. Next time, we will talk about Sirfetch'd, the legendary bird with the sharp stick? Onion? What is it? It's a leek. The sharp food item. Anyway, that's what we'll do next time on the Professor and Ditto. Well, on the stupid Pokedex entries segment of our show. Thank you everyone for tuning in to segment 1. Let's go ahead and jump right in to segment 2 of the Professor and Ditto show, a trip down memory lane. Insert amazing transition here. Again, I will show the image because you haven't seen this enough. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for the second segment of the Professor and Ditto show, and we are already halfway through the show. Goodness gracious, I'm going to try and be quick so that we can get to your guys' and mine. I'm not sure why I threw my notes behind me like that, but anyway, segment 2 is a new segment known as a trip down memory lane. A trip down memory lane. Let's look back at some of Professor and Ditto's most recognizable moments. So some of the most, well, maybe some of the moments that were your guys' first experience with Ditto and I. I'm sorry I'm misspeaking a little bit. But let's talk about what Ditto and I consider to be one of our first viral videos. As in one of the videos that before our TikTok channel was the size that it is today, with nearly 200,000 individual followers. Well, what I think to be 1,000 real people and 190,000 bots. Anyway, before our channel reached the size that it is today, Ditto and I were just making videos in between work. And you can see this if you scroll through our profile, not here on YouTube, but well, actually you can kind of see it on YouTube as well. We've got a couple of videos we filmed after work as well. But yeah, we filmed a lot of our videos just in between work. We would get off our shift, we would get on our computer, and we would look up theme park trivia and Pokemon stuff that we could talk about. Pokemon stuff. We did mainly reviews, but we also we made fun of some Pokemon. We fully realized our disdain and our hatred for Sylveon as an individual Pokemon, not on a personal. Oh, who am I kidding? It is totally personal. Hate Sylveon. Sylveon is the worst Pokemon ever. And if you guys want to know why, all you have to do, like, we have many videos of it here on YouTube and on TikTok, especially on TikTok and Instagram. But anyway, at Sir Mr. Senior Official on Instagram. There's a little plug for you. By the way, have you subscribed yet? Because you should really subscribe. Anyway, one of the first viral videos that Ditto and I ever produced was a video that we made just spur of the moment. It was our Jaws video. Now, in our Jaws video, for anyone who doesn't remember, what we talked about in this video was a certain accident. Well, we talked about a ride, the Jaws ride, the attraction at Universal Studios Orlando, Florida. And boy, oh boy, is it nightmare fuel in every sense of the word. It was absolute nightmare fuel. The idea was you and your fellow passengers get into a boat. It's a lot like Disney's Jungle Cruise, but way the heck more intense because you've got the Jaws shark following you around, going underneath your boat, attacking other boats, skimming past you, attempting to bite your boat a couple of times, and it just gets more crazy from there. You've got your skipper, who is, of course, the main character of the ride, and you guys are just there to enjoy the show, enjoy campy Hollywood shark horror at its best, what I think is its best. And the Jaws ride is beloved by many a fan, myself included, even though, unfortunately, I've never had the honor, and I never will unless we go to Japan, which is probably not going to happen anytime soon, at least. Beer virus. But anyway, that was a horrible cover-up. Let me try again. Beer virus. Okay, that's better. But yeah, the Jaws ride is still open at Universal Studios Orlando, right? Yeah, that's the not Orlando. Universal Studios Japan. Universal Studios Japan is where the Jaws attraction is still open. I'm not aware of any other locations. That's the one that that seems to get there so far. But there used to be an attraction. The original Jaws ride was in Universal Studios Orlando, Florida. And this ride was legendary. Like I said, people loved it. But in 1990, well, I should preface this by saying the video that I'm talking about, the video that Ditto and I made, we highlighted one of the many accidents that occurred on the Jaws attraction. Now, personally, if there's one ride that I don't want to be a part of an accident on, it's the Jaws ride. And yes, this idea came from a video in Defunctland. The thing that struck me about the Defunctland video was that he mentions this accident. He goes into a little detail, and then he just keeps going. Like, it's no big deal. It's like, excuse me, you just told me a man in 1990 fell out of the boat into the Jaws attraction at the moment when the shark is coming out of the water. I feel like we should talk about that a little bit more. So Ditto and I did a little bit of extra research. We found news articles, we found interviews, we found the legal forms that have been released to the public because there was a lawsuit after the case. And we made it a really short, of course, under a minute long video about this accident in 1990. Now, the short version is that this guy, he was on vacation with his family. He had his kids with him in the boat. There's no mention of a wife or a girlfriend or anything like that. I assume she was there as well. We don't know that for sure. We definitely know that the kids are there. But what happened was the railing, they used to have railing on each of the boats, like they have in the Jungle Cruise, that guests and little kids can like lean on and look at and stuff. It's not big enough that kids can like slide out of, and especially not adults, but it's there to keep the guests in the boat and prevent them from, like, I don't know, reaching out and trying to like boop the nose of the shark. Because, you know, how many of you out there have always wanted to boop the nose of a killer? How long is that shark? Like 30 feet long? No, it's not 30 feet long. It's like a 15-foot long shark. I'm sure there are plenty of kids out there who want to reach out and touch the nose of the giant, scary animatronic shark. I was never one of those kids. But anyway, to prevent this, there's railing there. What happened was the railing failed. I assume he was leaning on it because the boat does take, you know, it moves around a little bit at times, not much. At this point, it scooted around a little bit at times. You know, it like, I don't think it went like this in the water. But anyway, whatever was happening, the man was leaning on the rail and the railing failed, meaning that the screws holding the railing together into the boat came undone. He fell forward out of the boat into the water at the moment when the shark was coming up out of the water. I think it was for the finale. I want to say it was for the finale. Wherever it was, the animatronic shark was there. The man fell out of the boat at just the right time, and it could have been the end of him very easily. What happened, fortunately enough, he was spared. The shark did not eat him. The handler, you know, shout out to whoever the boat person was this particular day. But they acted as they should. They pressed the big red button, stopped the ride, ran over, grabbed the man, pulled him back into the boat, and that was that, thankfully. Now, he could have, we mentioned this in our video. This is part of the reason that I think the video did so well, was just how many different ways this man's life could have ended. He could have been, obviously the animatronic shark is just obeying its programming, and its programming is to get up out of the water, munch, 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 go back into the water, and sink down to the bottom. And normally the boat, the Jaws ride is like the Jungle Cruise. It's in 4-foot deep water. There's not a whole lot there. The only points of the ride that are deeper are the points when there are animatronics. In the Jaws ride's case, it's 10 feet deep where the animatronics were. Oopsie, this guy fell into one of the 10-foot. So he could have drowned. The animatronic shark could have, for lack of a better term, eaten him, ripped him apart. He could have been stuck underneath the boat because the boat has a railing system. And underneath that, all of that, there is a ton of machinery, underwater machinery, all working together to make sure that the ride continues as it should. All of that creates a apex wherever the boats are. That's why they have to shut the ride off whenever something like this happens, so that people don't get sucked under the water into the mechanics of the ride. This could have happened to this guy. Thankfully he was not. The ride operator was able to pull him back into the boat fast enough. He was okay. Until the operator got over there, though, in the split seconds, the fraction of a second that it took the ride operator to get over to the side of the boat and pull him back on board, this man's children screamed something to the effect of, "The shark's going to eat daddy," end quote. And what was worse was once the man was pulled out of the water, the rest of the people on the boat started applauding like crazy and cheering and whistling because they thought it was just part of the ride. They thought it was like I don't know if they thought it was some kind of event or whatever. I mean, surely something that crazy isn't actually like, something like that would never happen in real life. It's Universal Studios. Everything's fake. There's no way that this man almost lost his life. He sued because it was the 90s, and $1 million is, well, it's still a lot of money today. Some people on TikTok acted like, hey, Frank the Dino, acted like $1 million wasn't a lot of money. Well, I guess by today's standard, you know, when you look at what people are sued for today, like hundreds of millions of dollars for almost nothing, you'd think this man would sue for more than $1 million, but I don't think, from what I've seen of him, he wasn't malicious. Like he was just upset that he almost lost his life in a scenario that most of us have only had nightmares about. I mean, I've certainly had nightmares about mechanical underwater things grabbing me and pulling me down and preventing me from going up for air. That's definitely a nightmare that I've had at least once, and it stuck. It was bad enough that it stuck with me my entire life. That this man experienced that in real life. He fell out of the boat into the Jaws ride, and so Ditto and I made a video on it. This man sued for $1 million, by the way, and I think they settled it out of court. Long story short, this accident forced Universal to close the Jaws ride for a period of time, clean everything up, make sure it was all fit together. They adjusted some elements of the ride too, before reopening it back to the public until 2012, when the ride officially closed to make room for Harry Potter Land. Now, because I spend a lot of time talking about the accident itself in the official TikTok, in which I discussed the Jaws video, a lot of people fell under the assumption that I said that the Jaws ride in Universal Studios Orlando closed because of the accident in 1990, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because the Jaws ride closed in 2012, not in 1990 or 1991 or 1992. It stayed open long after this accident. So to hold something that happened over 30 years ago as the main reason to close a ride, it's almost as stupid as, I don't know, taking a film that came out in 2015 and adjusting a certain southern-themed log ride to feel more, I don't know, racially pandering. Disney, Splash Mountain. Why are you going with The Princess and the Frog? It's a really freaking old movie. Well, it's not a really old movie, but like, you should have updated it when the movie came out. Like, anyway, that's a discussion today. This accident did not cause the closure of the Jaws ride. I've made this abundantly clear. A lot of people assumed that I said that Jaws closed, Jaws in Universal Orlando closed because of the accident. That is not what I said. The ride closed to make room for Harry Potter Land in 2012. Now, something that we got, I think part of the reason the video did so well is because people posted a crap load of comments. They were the heroes. They were the heroes of 2009. I don't know, in Orlando. I could have sworn it was 2012. I thought it was 2012. I thought that's when Harry Potter Land opened in Universal Studios Orlando. I could be totally wrong. Oh no. It was Islands of Adventure, not Universal Studios Orlando. Islands of Adventure is like California Adventure is to Disneyland. So it's like same company owns both of them. It's just like a separate park with like different IPs. Anyway, Princess and the Frog was 2009. So even later. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. It was wow. That came out a while ago. Dang, dude. I'm not getting old or anything, but like, wow. Anyway, a lot of people were quick to share their memories of going on the Jaws ride. I went on the Jaws ride in 2011 or something like that. I went on the Jaws ride in 2004. So you're wrong. It couldn't have closed. You're wrong. Your video's stupid and you should quit TikTok. It wasn't always like that, but most of the time the comments were along those lines. So I made a follow-up video to this. Just closing down. We'll get to your question here in a second, Ichigo, because question and answer session is the next segment after this one. But closing down the thought here, I made a follow-up video just to decade or something. Anyway, we went to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, to Harry Potter Land. We went into, is it Diagon Alley? I think it's Diagon Alley. It's where Gringotts, yeah, it is Diagon Alley, because Gringotts is on the other corner. On the opposite corner of that, where the fountain is, that's where the Jaws ride once stood. They have filled everything up. Allegedly, they put one of the animatronic sharks in the foundation of the of Harry Potter Land so that the Jaws shark would always be lurking beneath the audience, which I think is like the coolest urban legend ever. But anyway, so I went to Universal Studios Orlando. I made a video. It is still up on my TikTok right now, where I walk over and I point at the ground and I say, if Jaws was still open at Universal Studios Orlando, because a lot of people thought it was still open today, that like they had ridden it recently, therefore it couldn't have closed. And I was wrong and I should quit TikTok and all this other stuff. I made a video. I walked over to the spot where the accident occurred back in 1990. I pointed at the concrete ground and I said, ladies and gentlemen, if the Jaws ride was still open, I would be up to my knees at least. Actually, I'd be up to my waist. I think is that about 4 feet? I don't know. I forgot how tall I am. I'm a Garchomp height. Yeah, I'm a Garchomp height. So you guys do the math. But I would be at least up to my knees in water if the Jaws ride was still here. It is closed. It is not open anymore at Islands of Adventure in Universal Studios Orlando. All right. It is closed. It has been closed at least since 2012. And I have been there. There's video evidence of that. And no, I am not quitting TikTok just because you didn't understand what I said. Anyway, I understand that the video isn't totally clear. It's under a minute long, and I'm trying to fit a lot of information in there. But even so, like, come on, guys. You know what I'm talking about. You can do your own research too. Pause video, the first one. It not only cleared 1 million views. Bo, thank you so very much. That was a good voice crack right there. Excuse me a moment. Yeah, root beer. It clears up the pipes. Anyway, it is root beer. I promise. You know, Chick-fil-A doesn't that like. Anyway, root beer is like the hardest thing that Chick-fil-A sells. Anyway, hashtag not sponsored. So I would like to be though. Reach out to me. Hit me up, Chick-fil-A. Come on, guys. I've worked for you. You guys you want to add your username up here? Anyway, yeah, so the Jaws ride, that was the first video we ever uploaded that cleared 1 million views. And it also, Bo, oh my gosh, thank you so very much for continuing to be an awesome sponsor. Thank you. And thank you for being a patron as well. The Jaws ride, that video cleared 1 million views. And within a week, I think a week or two, it cleared 1 million likes as well. I think that's one of the only videos we have that has over 1 million likes. Last we checked. We haven't gone through our old videos in a while. But anyway, you guys get the idea. Thank you guys so much for making the Jaws video so popular. It drew a lot of you to our channel, to our content. And yes, there is more theme park accident trivia coming soon. We don't have the package yet, the Underground. The package is not here yet. We have no mail. Otherwise, segment 1 would have been done. Not the mailbag. We have the mailbox. The first segment is always the mailbox, but only if we have a box to open. Your box isn't here yet. As soon as it gets here, you will be informed. I promise. All right. It should be here by it should be here by Friday anyway. Anyway, just wanted to go down that little trip down memory lane. Thank you guys so much for joining us for that little segment. We plan on cleaning this up for more in the future. It's a mystery gift. Oh, mystery gifts. That's right. I'm sorry. Where's my pen? Segment 3 is mystery gifts. I'm going to write that down. Segment 3, mystery gifts. All right, there we go. Mystery gifts. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. All right, so that being said, let's just get it. Oh man. It was a weird night, man. That was a reference to a dream I had. I had a really weird dream. I know I've eaten something that I shouldn't have eaten before going to bed when I have a dream about Ben Shapiro. I don't watch Ben Shapiro regularly. I'm not a huge fan of his. I occasionally have really weird dreams of him. But anyway, you guys get the idea. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to answer that. I made a video once where I mentioned a weird dream I had that featured Ben Shapiro and a golden SUV. Anyway, next question over on TikTok. Help, my Duskmane Macrosma is having a battle with Eternius. That's not a question. Next question. Hi, how are you doing today? From Braden. I'm doing very well. File, you'll notice that little slideshow of images of Ditto. The very last image is my Pokemon Go code. So there you go. Oh no, guys, it's happening. It's the end of the stream. It's coming. I'm sorry if the connection is bad. Have you ever watched any old Cartoon Network cartoons? I have. I own a DVD set of all of the original Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans, the entire Teen Titans box set. I have watched every single episode. The show makes way the heck more sense if you switch, I think it's seasons 3 and 4 around, because the whole Trigon thing, that was supposed to be the end of the show. And they switched it around because the show got unintentionally canceled. Anyway, I miss those Teen Titans. That's the best DC's ever done, as far as I'm aware, as far as cartoons go. There was a period of time best. They were the best out there. Like the Justice League cartoon, Teen Titans, all that. The original Batman cartoon, those were great, man. I love those. Even Batman Beyond, those were great, great shows. These days, it's anything superhero related just feels kind of flat. But anyway, next question. Have you played FNAF? I have played FNAF. It's something I'll probably revisit at some point. I don't know. We still haven't cleared 200,000 followers on TikTok. I tell you what, guys. How about this? I do horror. I'm not a horror games guy. I don't like horror games. I actually kind of hate them. I kind of hate horror games. I hate scary stuff. I get scared very easily, or at least I jump. I jump at everything. I'm not saying I'm the kind of person who screams. I'm no PewDiePie. Last I checked, I don't know. I haven't played a scary game in a long time, but I remember playing FNAF 2 when it first came out, the demo, and it freaked the crap out of me, and I put it down, and I never touched it again. But I am willing. I mean, I know Sister Location is available on the Switch, so how about this? For our next goal on TikTok, if we clear 200,000 followers before the end of July, which I know we can do, all right? We've done more in a shorter period of time. If we clear 200,000 followers on TikTok before the end of July, or there's always an or, there's an easier path and apparently a more difficult path. If we get up to 2,000 followers on our YouTube, 2,000 subscribers, there's no time limit for that, by the way. Whichever one happens first. If we clear 200,000 followers on TikTok, excuse me, or 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, whatever it might be, I will purchase with my own money, which there's not a whole lot of. Well, actually, there might be with all these donations, because remember, everything that's donated doesn't go into my pocket. It goes straight into keeping this show on the air and giving you guys funnier and bigger and better content. That definitely counts as a business. Hate scary games. So, again, 200,000 followers on TikTok or 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I will download Sister Location and I will play it in front of all of you and make myself look like an idiot. So, therefore, you should make a gaming channel. Well, I kind of already have that on YouTube. My YouTube channel doubles as a gaming channel. Like I never really understood the idea. Maybe if you're big, like I understand having a game